G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. So guys, making this video means a lot to me because we've just hit the 11,000 subscribers. And I just cannot be more grateful for where we are in the channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. Now I didn't end up making a video for 10,000 because we're in the middle of moving into the new house. So decided to wait till we hit that 11K and then answer any questions that you guys wanted me to answer. It's an insane feeling to be at that number, knowing that 11,000 of you subscribe to watch what I do and what I enjoy as a hobby and passion. So thank you guys so much for hanging around, all the people that have been there since the start and all the new viewers. I can't thank you enough. It's hard to put into words what it means, so and what it feels like. Without further ado, I've got the GU here, just pulled her out in the backyard. So I'm gonna jump in her, put you guys on the windscreen, and we're gonna talk some shite and answer all the questions that you guys have written in the comments. And as you can see, the four-wheel drive's a bit dirty. Went for a Mount Disappointment run about 2 weeks ago, so I got a few things I got to fix on her. Yeah, I'll chuck you on the windscreen. Hopefully there's no glare. There's bees everywhere because of sunflowers, so trying to get stung, and we'll jump in the car. All right guys, we are rolling. Hello. And this is our third question and answer video I've done, so hopefully sounds all good. There's no glare from the sun. Looks like it might rain soon. So yes, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. As I always say in my intros, but I do mean it. So we'll get straight into it, and there's a lot of questions to go through, so I want to try and get through as quickly but as thoroughly as possible. Hopefully you guys can stay tuned the whole thing. So grab last night's overs, put it in the microwave, crack open a cold one, sit down with me so we can talk some shite. So I've been off work for about a week now, so I cracked my right hand rib, unfortunately. So I've just been recovering from that, so trying to feel a bit better and trying to be productive as well. It's been a bit hard because I've just been sitting at home, so I've been trying to do some stuff to better the mood. What's better than to do a question and answer video? So I'll get right into it. So RCLA03 says, how did you crack your rib? Because I did put it in the Instagram story. It's actually a pretty funny one. So I was laying in bed. I've had a chest infection for 4.5 weeks now. I'm just getting over it, so I'm not coughing anymore like I was. And I was laying in bed on Sunday night. I was just laying, it was like 3 in the morning, and I had this mucus build up come through here, and I've just leaned forward and had a coughing fit. As I've had a coughing fit, it's just felt the right side of my body just crack and just shoot like a pain, or it wasn't even a pain, it was like a nerve shoot down the right side of my body, down my leg. And I just looked at my missus and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just cracked my rib. And I went to lean forward and it was fucking agonizing. So yeah, that happened. So I'm still in a bit of pain, but not as nearly as much as I was the last few days. So it's getting better. So I've just been staying off it, but thank you for asking. Big Dog 8585, g'day man. What's your dream drift car? Dream drift car. Ever since I was little, I was always obsessed with the Mad Mike RX-7 with the 4-rotor in it. That would be my dream car, an FD chassis with a 4-rotor, has to be NA. It'll be very similar blueprinted to the 787B engine. So 3 plugs per rotor, multi-length intake runners, all that stuff, and just that high pitch sound up in the RPM, throwing fireballs out the back. There's nothing cooler. That car was always such a massive inspiration. The first one he built, or the first one they built for Red Bull, that car was insane, and I've always loved that freaking car. It's been, so yeah, dream car, that would be 100%. Obviously that's a couple $100 grand right there. So attainable drift car would probably be like an S14 Series 2. They're one of my favorite chassis, with like a RB2530 in it. That would be probably a dream. Actually, that'd be a massive dream. Attainable budget drift car, dream wise, it'd be a Cressida, like an MX-83, and a 1UZ. That's probably like a V8 1UZ, probably supercharged or a turbo on it. That would be a dream, because I used to have a Cressida back in the day, an MX-83. That was a really clean car. I ended up buying an LS400 Lexus to put the V8 in, but the Lexus ended up being really nice, so I ended up dailying that Lexus and selling the Cressida. But yeah, that's something I definitely, those 3 cars definitely. So 4-rotor RX-7, S14 with a RB2530, and a Cressida with a 1UZ or something. That would be awesome. So 8 Rods asks, can you do a budget turbo build on the EF Falcon? Oh, that's a hard one, because I did buy that car to sort of just turn the key and drive it. You know, I didn't really want to do much to that car at all, and turboing those Intecs, you know, with a head gasket problem is probably not the best thing to do. But I know if you get, you know, better heads for them and multi-layer steel gaskets for them, they'll probably last a bit. But I never wanted that car to be a burden to drive. I just want to turn the key and go. So that car, I literally just want to lower it, tinted windows, you know, maybe a few other small little bits and pieces on it just to make it look nice, and exhaust system, and just drive it. But you never know what the future may hold. I might be interested, but if anything, I'll probably turbo the AU first, and then maybe that down the track. So Jack_Gallop asks, Rating on Subaru Foresters or Subi Foresters. Honestly, I love Foresters. I reckon they're sick. I never owned one. Always thought about owning like a GT Forester because I remember a friend of mine had a it was a 99 GT Forester, the silver with the gold wheels, lowered. Oh god, that car was sick. The sound, big scoop on it, had the kit on it. That was a great car. So I do rate Foresters. I do like them, and they're a little bit I don't like the new ones as much, but the 99 2000 ones, same as like the GC8 Subarus. That's like my favorite era of Subarus. So yes, Foresters are sick. Y Stans asks, do you love what you do? Oh, if you're talking about the channel, 100%. It's amazing the technology we have in our day and age, and it is amazing the platforms that we have so easily attainable by the public to just jump on and you know, gather inspiration. You know, there's a lot of you know, fake shit out there and non-organic stuff, but I feel like, you know, real passionate people about things will chime in with people, you know, like myself, that there's nothing more to life than cars. Nah, there is more to life than cars, guys, but yeah, like I do love what I do in an essence, because all the messages that I got from you guys saying that you helped me through a hard time, or, you know, all you guys uplifting saying, you know, because of you I went out and bought my dream car, or because of you I finished a car that's been sitting in the garage. That's the whole reason I do what I do on YouTube. You know, I don't really try and make a lot of money. Like, I don't shove merch down your throat. I don't tell you to like, subscribe every video. I just put the content out there so you guys enjoy it and you can learn something from it. You know, I could make so much more money doing what I do, but I just choose not to because of how much I love cars, and I just never want to sell out with the cars because it's just not worth it to me. And it becomes work. It's not a hobby. Oh, hello. It becomes, you know, work, not a hobby. So to answer that in short, yeah, I absolutely love what I do, and I wish I could be friends with every single one of you. So Bo Patchett 37 asks, how long until the RX-7 is up and running? Good, glad you asked that, because I've just sold the donor car AU. Now that that's gone, I freed up a bit of room at home, so I've pushed the RX-7 out of its hidey hole and I've put it in the other side of the garage, cleaned it up a bit so I can work on it. That's going to be the next car we attack. I want that car done because I'm sick of looking at it. I bought that car 3 years ago, what, in 2019 I think I bought it? Yeah, end of 2019 I bought that car, and every time I walk past it I say to myself, that's my dream car right there. Why is it covered in 30 cans of CRC? It's become a shelf. So yeah, that's gonna be the next car we really attack, that and the VL, now that we've freed up some room at home. Yeah, RX-7, when do I reckon it'll be up and running? I think probably, I hope to have it running in a year's time. Guys, remember I am one person, so I don't have like, I don't have a team that works for me. I have a normal job, so like it's just something I do in my spare time. So time frame's a little bit stretched. I'm not like other channels where it's like, it'll be done in a week because I got a shop, you know, so that's why I like it, because it's more relatable to other people building cars out there. So cars_bikes420 asks, I just talked about this before actually, are you going to sell merch and stuff like that? Yes, 100% I want to. I want to sell just like basic stuff, just to, you know, get you guys, you know, running stickers on cars and stuff. I want to see, you know, interstate, or that'd be pretty cool. Even if I do make a lot of merch, I'll try not to shove it down your throats, guys. You know, I'll just put links in the description. There's a couple of things in the works that I really want to do, and there's a couple of things that I've sort of got drawn up in that. And it's just hard to make merch when you've got so many cars, so you got to sort of find out which sort of car's gonna go. I'd love to do, you know, merchandise or shirts and that with all the cars on it, and then some, you know, dedicated to the four-wheel drive world, some dedicated to drifting world, some dedicated to the time attack, some dedicated to just builds. So yeah, definitely something in the works. And yeah, so when I do it, don't worry guys, as soon as I do, I'm going to be putting it up on the channel, and but I won't be advertising every single video of them because it's a drainer. So Charlie M4C asks, your favorite car out of the fleet besides the XL? The XL is the best. It's the best car. Whew, favorite. That's hard. That's hard. I always get asked this question. It's so hard to answer. I go by favorite by the amount of memories I've had in these cars. Like just judging on the best times and just the most fun I've had in, probably be the R31 Skyline. That's probably one of my favorites because I've just had so many sick memories in that car, as well as it's never let me down in terms of, you know, driving it around. I'd just go anywhere and everywhere in that car. So I'd say that. Probably this as well, because this is just a freaking party bus. It's so much fun. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's probably definitely the R31 and this, but the R31 is definitely my favorite, I'd say. There's a lot of bees around. I don't want one flying in and freaking stinging me in the eyeball. Ilya_Evo, want to sponsor my build? Build your car yourself. Now look, if I didn't even have sponsors building my own car, so it'd be great. If a sponsor reached out to me and wanted to build an Evo 10, Ilya, 100%. I know you're watching, I want to smack it. So yeah_mate111 asks, how are you and the cars other than the rib, which sucks? Yes, the rib does suck. Myself, I'm doing okay. You know, getting by, you know, getting inundated with stuff for the house, which is keeping me occupied, and obviously getting the car sorted, so I'm doing pretty well. Very busy, but it's hard to sort of jumble everything and not get a bit overwhelmed, but I try and work in a way where I just sort of really sort of scrutinize everything and dumb everything down, so I just don't overwhelm myself and have a bit of a plan and some sort of criteria as well. But it's been good. It's been good. The cars are doing great. You know, we got rid of the donor car Falcon, so that's gone. So we're down 1 car, so now we're at 10 cars. So I've got barely any anymore. But yeah, the Patrol, she's good. I got a bit of damage from Mount Disappointment a few weeks ago. I didn't film that trip because it was a night time, and I don't like filming at night. I just wanted to go out and have some fun. So we got a bit of damage on this car, just like a little bit of panel damage, and we also have a bit of a fuel leak, so I'm going to fix that. That'll be next video. I'm just going to fix this car up, get it ready for the next outing. RX-7, getting ready to get that all prepped into primer and do the radiator support on that. 32 blown turbo from the track day, so we're going to fix that. The 180 is good. I've just been driving that in my spare time, and she's behind me in the garage looking all cute. 31's doing good. I'd barely drive it. I just hadn't had any reason to drive it, so I'll probably get that out now that the weather's a bit nicer. Sexcel's going strong. EF Falcon's going strong. That's just a daily, so I've just been driving that, been doing a bit of wet weather skids. AU's nearly there for the next event, so I'm excited because that car's coming along really well. And have I missed a car? Oh yeah, the VL. The VL's just sitting in Mum's house. I've got to pull that out of its hidey hole, and then we got to figure out where we're going to put it so we can work on it easily. And the 68 Falcon, that's going to be coming out soon. So I've got to start getting some rust cuts for that car and start learning to weld everything on that car. So yeah, hopefully very soon we have everything sort of, we have a plan for everything. That's the main goal. Vincent 22409 asks, how much power is the R32 making? I don't know, I've never dynoed it. I'm not sure. I would say around the 180-ish, I'd say. I remember one time there was I raced a 33 that was making 210, and I was neck and neck with him. The weight advantage I had, probably, yeah, I reckon about the 180-ish, because it hasn't got much done to it, guys. It's pretty standard-ish, but just a 25 Series 2, a little bit more power and, you know, lighter chassis. So yeah, I don't know, I reckon around the 180-ish. I'd love to dyno it before I start to build that car, just to get an idea of how much power it's made with this setup I have on it now. So Oz up 4x4, how's the new house coming along? Also, are you going to be doing any camping trips in the big GU? First part of that question, the house is doing fantastic. I'm really happy with it. Me and my partner have been really stoked with the house, the whole process and everything, and as well as we've been here for almost 3 months now, and I still haven't made a video because I really want to get things just sort of up to scratch before filming it. I don't want it to look a bit ratty because we're still doing a lot of things inside, and a lot of things we're doing on our own, so it's all DIY stuff. But the house has been fantastic. I love it here. I genuinely love it here. It's good to have my own little spot. So I'm very blessed. Yeah, it's all good. You'll see it very soon. I'm going to make a video probably in the next couple of weeks, talk about what we're going to be doing in the backyard for the cars and all that shit like that. And second part of the question, any camping trips in the big GU? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Definitely going to start doing some local trips until I get the bigger fuel tank for this car, and then we'll start doing some trips, and definitely filming them as well with the boys, just having a good time out in the bush. That's what it's all about. And yeah, once I get a few more accessories for this car, you know, dual battery setup, you know, get my roof rack back on it, probably an awning, just stuff like that, just to make it a little bit more camper friendly. But yeah, 100% we will, 100% we will. Two Stroke or Broke asks, if money wasn't a thing, what would you build, chassis and engine, etc.? How are you, man? You always say hope everyone is doing okay, so now saying it back. Thanks, man, that means a lot. Very nice. The first part of that question, money wasn't a thing and chassis and engine. You know, I've always had this weird thing of putting like an exotic engine in like an S chassis, like maybe a Judd V10 or a Judd V8. If you don't know what a Judd engine is, it's like pretty much like a 90s or 2000s Formula 1 engine. I'd love to put like a Judd V10. I think they're like a 3.5 litre. They rev to like, I think it's 11,000 RPM in like an S15. That would be insane. I'd love to put like an exotic like Zonda V12 into something, you know, maybe even like an R31 or something. It'd be just stupid. Put like, you know, $100,000 engine in a $5,000 car. It'd be so funny. Chassis and engine, my dream's always been a 4-rotor RX-7 FD. I've envisioned it ever since I was a little kid. I used to just lay down at night just thinking of tearing up the streets in a 4-rotor RX-7, screaming through the neighborhood, and just throwing fireballs out the back. There's nothing cooler, and it gives me, I've got goosebumps now just thinking about it. And the second part of your question, yeah, I'm doing okay, man. About 3 months ago, I was in a pretty bad state mentally. I've always suffered with mental health, you know, a lot of us do, and it's pretty common in that. I don't usually talk about it a lot, but I've had, you know, a couple of, when I first moved into the house, I wasn't in a good mental state, and I was sort of declining a little bit. and sort of lost my bearings for a bit, and you know, just forgot who I was. I'm feeling so much better now, and I'm more ambitious and motivated than ever. And you know, just remember guys, if you are going through something, remember you're not alone. There's always people around you that want to help, even if you think there's not. And if you ever feel down, just hit me up in my inboxes on Instagram or Facebook. I'm always down to chat, and I always chat with you guys heaps, so remember that. Melbourne Streetcar says, hey Mark, it's Anthony, the UC Tirana, Tom's grandson. Congratulations on 11K. I know exactly who you are, Anthony. Thank you so much for congratulating me. Also say hello to Tom. I miss him, and I'm so glad that that car that we built 9 years ago is still going strong. So thanks for that, man. Zachary Burrows, when will we get more VL content or VLLS content? Very soon now, because I've freed up room at home. Now that most of the cars are here, most of them, half of them, we're going to be pulling the VL out of a tidy hole and then just going over that and start to do the engine installation and measuring up all manifolds and stuff. So very soon, I can't guarantee exactly when, but I'm trying to hopefully get a video out in the next month, because it's been a while. I've been putting off the VL for a while, so I've got to really get some more content of that car out there for you guys. So Brian Townsend asks, what's your favorite tool in the garage? Byron from Bunyip. My favorite tool? Oh God, it'd have to be my rattle gun, because it just comes out for every occasion. Like there's not a time, even if I'm doing interior stuff, I just pull out the rattle gun just because. I'd say the rattle gun and the welder, because it's just fun welding shit. Yeah, I'd say that. The Mystery 980. Okay, well, I love your videos, and I don't have an amazing or well-thought question currently, but the Falcon is incredibly sexy currently, but I was wondering if you thought it would be even sexier with a budget turbo setup slapped on the dirty slut. That's exactly what that car is, a dirty slut. Yeah, eventually I want to push the car NA to its limits until my skill's there. I always want to push my skill limit first before the car, and then once I've sort of dialed in that car to a point where I'm, you know, either bored of it or just can't push any further, yeah, I definitely do a budget turbo build and just do something very small. If it blows, then probably put a barrier in it, just like most people do. It's easy power, it's cheap, and it's pretty, you know, pretty attainable for still in this day and age. So Dominic Britton asks, can we see more of the R31 drifting, and what are your thoughts on running a J3 chip on the AU? Waste of time or worth it? So first part of that question, R31 drifting, probably won't see it drifting as much as I used to, because obviously you guys probably have seen that I've decided to put that car merely back on the street as a street drifter, because I just don't want to smack it into a wall, and that car, I care too much about that car. I'll probably do like little events here and there, but like nothing crazy. You probably see it doing a couple of just like minor events. You know, maybe pan days, but I don't like pan days. They're very boring. And J3 chip on an AU, I don't really know. I've never had one, or I've never been in a car with one. I've never really researched them very well, so I can't really answer that. I'd probably just turbo it in the Barry computer or something. That's just what everyone seems to do. I think J3 chips, if you want to keep the car in A and just send it. Maybe, but yeah, I'm not too sure on that, so I can't really answer that one, man. So Jordan Dunkus asks, a bit of a private question. Don't worry, guys. You can be, I can be as transparent as possible with you guys. But what do you do for a living, and will you eventually set up a dedicated track car, purpose-built for racing or time attack, similar to the last event with the R32? So to answer the first part of that question, what do I do for a living? I get asked this all the time. It's probably the biggest question. I don't do anything hectic. I just work at a supermarket. So I do that 4 days a week, and I used to do night shifts, so I was earning really good money at the time, which helped me save up for this deposit over the last 6 years. And I've been at that company for 6 years now. I am looking to leave because I'm over it. And obviously the YouTube channel is my little side sort of hustle, sort of funds the cars, and you know, all the sponsors I gain from that. I don't do many sponsorships. I get hit up a lot, but I just don't want to do a lot. Just takes the viewing experience away. Also, I have been investing into cryptocurrency for since probably just before COVID. So I've been pretty heavily into that, just doing some dollar cost averaging trading and stuff like that me and my buddies sort of do. I've got a few mates from school that are quite successful in that field, so we all get together and have some chats and meets and on Discord and Zoom, and we just sort of talk about trading, and you know, I've made some pretty good returns from that. And that I haven't really, like, you know, bought stuff with that. I've just sort of done that as a long-term sort of snowball passive income. I guess you could say that could be something else I do for a living, just because it is a source of income. But yeah, those are the three. So supermarket, YouTube, and investing. That's probably my three. And I do flip on the side. I like flipping things, not physically, but you know, I do buy, swap, sell remote control cars as well. That's something I like to flip, RC cars. And also, yeah, I used to do a lot of car flipping. I'm thinking about getting back into it, you know, probably just to show you guys, do a series on it, you know, how to start from a $500 car and work your way up to like a $10,000, $20,000 car, something like that. It would probably be pretty cool. And then we can, yeah, we can gallop our way to owning more expensive shit boxes. And the second part of the question, purpose-built time attack car. I think one car I'd build purposely for that reason would be probably the XL. Because you've seen the XL Racing series, those cars are so cool. And yeah, mine's got all the blueprinted stuff for that series. It's got the silver type X3 engine, which is the most powerful. Mine's a 4-door, so most of them are 2-door, so it'll be a little bit rarer on the track. Yeah, that car's gonna retire soon. It's falling apart. Everything around it's falling apart, but the running gear's mint. So I think, you know, just dropping on a coilovers, putting a cage in it, gutting it, I think that's going to be a good little time attack car. And the cornering speed will be nuts in that car. Good tyres and that. I love to see it get up on 3 wheels in the corners. That'll look sick. But yeah, I reckon that, yeah, for a dedicated track car, probably that car eventually. That's something I've always wanted to do. So Mateus _ Mihalidis. I really hope I pronounced that right, man. I'm so sorry. Any plans for the R32? Oh, I got so much for that car. I want to do like carbon accents all around it. I want to make it look a lot more aggressive than it is. On the GDR skirts and lips, I want to do carbon lips under them, and then maybe the rear wing extension carbon, and then probably rear pods, maybe a diffuser. Looks wise, that's pretty much all I want to do. And then engine wise, you know, I want to end up building that engine up to around a 300 to 350 kilowatt region, and have something that just scares the hell out of me. You know, the VL is going to be that car, but the Skyline I just want to have more so the sound, you know, 6-boost manifold, 3076, T51R mod. Oh, I get so excited thinking about it. Oh. But yeah, that's definitely the plans I got for that car, and I just want to keep driving it because I love R32s. I love the way they look, I love the way they sound. Yeah, they're just sick. Mark J. Falzo asks, when is the AU making its debut on the drift track? I'm hoping to do December 9th, or it's the last Keep It Reet drift event at Calder Park. I'm going to enter that, and hopefully the car's done, and we'll bring it home here. That way we can just send it, have the whole car just ready to go, no hiccups. I've spent so much time just trying to dial it in. I'm really excited to see what that car's going to do. Yeah, definitely probably the December one. I was going to do the November one, but I still just haven't had time to get ready. So Bucket O Bolts, give me another power mod for my 31. Can't be turbo, it's definitely R31. I know talks. Honestly, my 31's got the cam, 818B cam in it. It's got, you know, intake, exhaust, all the necessary stuff that the NA needs. You can't really do much more to them than that. You know, you can, you know, you start spending a lot of money. You know, a few guys put them on 85, put, you know, ITBs on them, pump up the timing and shit like that. But I reckon just it'd be cheaper to go, it'd be just as much money to go for a budget turbo setup. So I'd do that, man. Just send it, just turbo it. I don't know why I haven't turboed mine already. Mubin 1925 asks, I want to barrow swap my Subaru wagon for a budget build. Where should I go? Hook me up. Subaru. Interesting. Everyone's throwing barrows in absolutely everything these days, so it's very, very interesting. I don't really know many shops. You know, I don't really take notice of like a lot of shops because I do everything myself. So I have no idea where you should go. But if you're gonna do a budget swap, man, just do it yourself. Just would it fit with a barrow? I mean, engine bays in the Subarus are quite chode-like. So I don't know. Does the back of the cylinder head have to go through the firewall? I have no idea. That would be unreal though, having a barrow in one of those. I'm sure it's been done before. Everything's got a barrow in it. I should do the first barrow XL actually. Oh. Yeah, I've said it, someone's gonna do it. So yeah, just send it, do it yourself. Parker.31, hey Parker, what's better, AU Falcon or VT Commodore? Not even a question, man. Of course it's a VT, of course it's an AU Falcon. You can't even compete those two. If we're going merely on like, you know, V8 supercars, I did love the HRT Holden VT, but VTs in general, VT Club Sports are cool, but my God, they are associated with meth. Like VTs are just the car you see, every person that drives them either on meth, they're falling apart. They're quite a bland car. The good thing about the VTs were they were the last 5 litre, so that's good. But you know, my opinion, even though I was never a massive fan of AUs, I'd probably say AU. Flynn McMaster, what's your favorite car or cars that you have owned? Now I've answered favorite car that I have owned. That's a good question because I've had a lot of cars in my time. There's one car that sticks out to me the most, and I know a lot of my mates that are watching right now know exactly what I'm going to say because I always say how much I miss it. I had a 2000 and it was a 2000 Mitsubishi Legnum VR4 twin turbo wagon. It was one of the sexiest cars. It was so comfortable to drive. It was so quick. It had Evo stuff all around it, and it was just a car you never saw. And no matter where you went, no one knew what it was. That's one car. I sold that car to get into full driving. And unfortunately, it was a regret, but it got me doing what I'm doing today. So it sort of had to go. And if I did find that car for sale one time, and it was like 4 times what I paid for it. So I couldn't afford it. But I've been looking, guys, on Marketplace, just keeping an eye out if there's a cheap one that pops up, and I might jump onto it because I do really want one again because they're starting to go up in price. Seb H20 man asks, what car are you excited to build? Or are you most excited to build? Oh, the RX-7 for sure, the FD. It's my dream car. Like, I don't know, you get so excited building a dream car. Yeah, definitely. Every time, I remember when I first got that car, every time I worked on it, I was sort of like pinching myself. Like, I'm working on an RX-7, I'm working on an FD, it's so weird. A car I pictured since I was a little kid that I was gonna have when I was older. Yeah, I'm definitely so excited for that car, like more excited than ever. I can't freaking wait to actually have that car running and driving and call it mine. So yeah, that one, the RX-7 FD 100%. So FXX HUD says, get well soon. Thank you, man, I'm trying. So KO6I says, how do you manage so many cars in such a small house? Well, obviously probably me and my mum's joint. It's not a very small house, but it's like a residential house, so it's like, you know, a normal house. The only problem with that house was the garage didn't have backyard access to the rear. Everything had to be in the garage or in the front yard, which I hated because I didn't want stuff being in the front yard because I was just paranoid all the time, which is fair enough. But how did I do it? I don't know, I just made it work. I feel like if you're really passionate about something in life, you just make it work no matter what. I'm very blessed to have all that room. Now I've got all the room at this new house as well. So it's good. I thoroughly am lucky to have all that room, and you know, I eventually want to get a factory, guys. That's something I really want to do. And if I do get a factory, oh my god, it's gonna be the worst fucking thing ever. I'm gonna have like 1 million cars. Okay, this is a really good question, and I want to answer this in depth. So Aokiji, I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, man. I know exactly who you are though. Aokiji _171. Sorry if I butchered that. Ugh. This is a really good question. What are your thoughts on the car scene now compared to like 5 years ago? 100% different. This is a question I get asked a lot. How's the car scene now compared to back in the day? It is a lot different. I remember I've been in the car scene. I hate when people say car scene, but I call it community. I've been in the community for a long time, since even before I had my license, because I used to have friends drive me around, go to car shows and stuff. And I was always one of those people that would start talking to car owners and stuff just to, you know, ask their builds. I've met some very, very egotistical people in the car community, but you get that with everything. Everything in life, you're gonna have guys that are, you know, just so up themselves, it's unreal. Honestly, when I got into the car world, like when I got my license, I got my license in 2014. It was a lot quieter. Now you got to remember, guys, cars are the most trendy they have ever been in existence. Like, they are so trendy because of things like TikTok, YouTube, easy platforms that people can easily reach out to and just sort of get into with. So many guys I know had no interest in cars, you know, during school or whatever, and then they get into cars, you know, later on down the track. A person like myself who's been into cars pretty much since I was in the womb, you know, my dad being into drag racing and stuff as a kid. I definitely enjoy seeing people sort of rolling into the hobby of cars later on down the track. I'm not a massive fan of people that just sort of use cars as a tool to get, you know, big and that. That's just my personal opinion. You know, I genuinely love cars. That's why I just hate seeing people just sort of abuse them for that reason. And it's not very organic. Because it's so trendy and there's so many more people involved in it, especially the younger guys. There's, you know, a lot of toxicity involved, just like, you know, a lot of things in this world. Anytime anything like that happens around where I am, I just leave and I just don't worry about any of that stuff. I'm the most drama-free person you'll probably ever meet. I hate it. I think the car community was better when it was niche and everyone was really, really enthusiastic. But guys, when I got into the car scene, there was a lot of toxic people as well that I met over the years. And a lot of guys that were actually older than me as well. They weren't always the young guys. So I think there's just that, you know, where do you draw the line sort of thing. I do miss how it was. But it'll be interesting to see how it sort of evolves in the future. But at the end of the day, no matter how it is, I will still meet those people that have the same interests as me, and I'll still continue to talk to the guys that relate to me the most. And I'm so happy at car meets when someone comes up to me and talks about my car. I talk about it like it's my child. I'll tell you a quick funny story, guys. I was at a car show me and my buddy put together a while ago. Hopefully my camera doesn't die. Me and my buddy Ryan were walking around just having a look at some cars. This is the first time anything like this has ever happened to me. And it was a white Volkswagen Golf. It was a later one. I'm not a big fan of Golfs. They just don't interest me as a car. Engineering wise, they're fantastic, but they don't interest me. And my mate said, I had the bonnet sort of half cracked open. I had a carbon bonnet on it, that rhymed, and I had a look in. I'd sort of peeked my head under there. It was at night time, so I had to peek my head under there just to have a look at the turbo, and I said, oh fuck, that's big. And this guy just comes out of nowhere, and he came up from behind the car and he just looked at me and he goes, oh, excuse me mate, can I help you? And he was like, you know, a bit, you know, rude. And I was like, oh sorry man, I've just never seen a Golf with a turbo that big. And he goes, oh, do you mind? And I said, what do you mean, do I mind? I'm at a car show looking at a car, you have your bonnet open. And he goes, yeah, I just opened it so I can let the air vent out. And I sort of, I didn't snap, but I just said to him, I said to him, so what's with the attitude, man? And he goes, no, I got no attitude. He goes, I just don't like people looking at my car. I said, why did you bring it here? And he goes, and he was being very arrogant, just a bit of an asshole. And he had no idea that I put together the meat. So I said to him, I said, hey mate, I said, like, we don't really tolerate any of this kind of stuff here, and I would like you to leave. And then as soon as and then he goes, oh, hang on a minute, did you like, I said, yeah, me and my mate put this together. And he goes, oh, and then he started being really friendly, and then he apologized. And I just said to him, I said, mate, I go, just don't act like that around here. We don't tolerate this kind of stuff. That really pissed me off, that people like that. And then he was telling me that he has the fastest Golf in Australia. I didn't really care. I said, look, mate, I said, if you were nice, I'd care. I said, I really don't care, mate. And he's trying to show me videos of it. I'm going down the quarter mile. And I just said, like, mate, I'm like, if you're really nice, even if it was a stock Golf and you were nice, man, I'd be so interested in the car. I go, personality, the way you are. I said, no, it's just, I don't have any interest in the car. Sorry, mate. So I sort of gave him a warning. They ended up leaving. And a few people that I knew of him and said, like, this guy's an asshole anyway. So shit like that, it just drives me nuts. Oh, it just, yeah. Not many things that grind my gears like that, but that drives me nuts. That's the only altercation I've had like that, from looking at someone's car and literally being told off for it. So I just sort of stood my ground, and then I didn't really say, like, you know, I make all the meats around here. I just sort of let him just chat, just talk, get it out. And then I sort of, you know, told him, like, me and my buddy put together this meet, so would you like to leave? Then he changed his tone completely, and then, yeah, he shook my hand and told me his name. I forgot his name, but yeah. So don't be like that, guys. Be respectful for everyone's cars and builds, and just be in it for the love of cars. I know it's cliche and it's cringe, but that's why we're all in it, aren't we? So Turv boy, first dream car. Now, if it's first dream car, I don't know. I think first dream car would be my RX-7, but now I have that. You guys will know that I always say my biggest dream car of all time would be a first generation Audi R8, which is a car I've been fascinated with ever since I was a kid. I remember when they came out, I think it was 2007 or 8. I was in city school in the city with, obviously in the city, dickhead, with my friends, and we were going around just doing like the little things you got to tick off and take photos with. I've always wanted to see an R8 in person, and I saw one at a car dealership, and I remember I just saw the side of it, pearl white with a side blade, the carbon side blade, and I looked at my mate and I just started crying, because I've never seen a car so beautiful. And it was the first time I ever cried when I saw a car. And ever since that day, I think I was in year 8 or 9, ever since that day I said to my mates, I said, I'm going to own that car when I'm older. One day I'm going to own that car. The other car I cried at when I saw was a Ferrari F40, because that was my childhood. I saw one and I actually teared up. I'm a bit of a poof like that, but you know what, guys, I think, you know, it's hard. So Tristan B _ says, what's the best orientated mod you did on your 31 or AU? So best drift orientated mod I'd say would be probably, well, obviously locking the diff is number 1. Steering lock, number 2. It's good to have just that excessive lock in case you just get yourself into a gnarly situation, and when you bump steer and there's not much lock, you sort of, the back end wants to come around a bit easier. So having that bit of extra lock, you don't really use that lock that often. It's more so just to save yourself. Yeah, hydro is a big one. Haven't done that in the AU yet, but hydro is a big one. Yeah, I'd say locker is the big one, and some lock mods. Yeah, and then hydro is probably your main ones. Just makes it a lot easier, and make sure your car's manual too, just a bit easier. So Pope asks, all-time dream car. I include race cars as well. I'd say the Mazda 787B is my all-time dream car. A car I've been obsessed with since I was a little kid. Always researched really hard on that car. Yeah, that's definitely a big dream car of mine. And probably a Pagani Zonda R as well. It's another like $3-4 million car. Different to the attainable dream cars versus the you know, all-time. We're on the last question now, guys. I think my camera is just gonna last. I think it's almost dead. So what is your overall favorite build? What project set you back the most? Any potential goals accomplished during your journey and future goals? Overall favorite build has probably been my R32, because I did that all myself. That was the first car I actually built on my own, because me and my dad built the 180. Obviously the Patrol 2 wasn't really a build, more of a revival, but this was a really fun car. I learned a lot, and obviously grew a lot with that car as well, with this car. What project set me back the most? I think probably the 180, because I spent so much money on the engine and gearbox back then, but I was, you know, I was 18 and I was a bit dumb. The 32 didn't really set me back. I think I spent overall on that car, I was probably like 7 or 8 grand building that car. I'll probably do a cost breakdown on that car when I fix the turbo. Any potential goals accomplished during your journey and any future goals? So goals accomplished during my journey, I've accomplished so freaking many. You know, obviously YouTube, building the channel was a big one, but like, you know, buying my dream FD RX-7, that's a massive goal. Having, you know, so many different variety of cars, you know, obviously getting my own place with my girlfriend, that's been a massive goal. And you know, we only move forward from here. So I'm very blessed with where I am, and I'm so excited to see what the future holds. And now I'm going to be collaborating with a lot of different channels and stuff, sort of network and grow each other. And there's so much I want to do, guys, and I feel like life's just so short. You just can't do everything you want to. Definitely a lot of goals achieved. Future goals, there's so many future goals I want. I want to, I've always wanted to get into motorsports and racing. I want to get my own factory, my own shop. Once I build the shed here and have my own hoist, that's going to be a future goal. I love just working from home, having, look out my window and seeing beautiful motor vehicles. And there's so many goals I want to achieve. I want to get back into properly bodybuilding and that, like I used to, because I haven't really done it since I broke my arms. So many goals, guys, so many. But I just want to keep it one step at a time, take my time, eventually get merchandise out there for you guys. And there's just so much I want to do. Oh my God, there's so much I want to do. But I hope that that was the last question. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and it's been great to do another one of these. I've been wanting to do one of these for a long time. Hopefully I answered everyone's question. There was a lot of repetitive questions, so if I did answer a question that was the same as yours, I did see yours, but obviously I've just answered the first one. And yeah, so thank you guys for asking questions. Some of them were really, really good, and some of them had to make me actually think and use my little brain. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, guys. I'll give you a little sneak peek at my new garage. So you can see the 31 over the back there, 32, and the 180 here, and the Patrol over here. You can see she's missing a bumper bar there, so a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, guys, a massive thank you for hanging out with me at home and just going through that question and answer. It's been really awesome to answer your questions, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you stuck around to the end. And I hope you can take something from this. Go and start your own channel. Just go and do fun things with cars. Just go enjoy yourself. Now, all that construction work over there is being very noisy. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much again for watching. Thank you so much for 11,000 followers. Thank you for all the questions. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you then. Bye.